this is Sharon from craftyandcreativeideas.blogspot.com. I'm here today to bring you another one of my Wow That's Cool videos from my series. This one is going to be just an instructional video as to how you can make a liner and a custom envelope for your cards. All of my cards that I usually make, I always make my own envelope for it, and I usually make a custom liner for it. And I get a lot of emails as to how do you know what size to do the liner, etc., etc. So I'm going to go over that with you because it is actually quite simple, and I'd like to share it with you. So you will need the Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board. And I'm going to make this particular envelope right now, and this is for a basic 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. So let me show you on here. On the chart we have the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's your card size, and it's saying that we need to cut the paper 8 by 8, and then it's going to be scored at, the first score is going to be at a 3 1/2. So when we make the envelope, which we will do first, I have pre-cut a piece of white paper here at the 8 by 8, and it says that we need our first score line to be a 3 1/2. So we're going to slide that over to the 3 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to pick this up. If you can't see that, it's right there. Okay, so we're going to move that over to the 3 1/2, and the very first time we're going to do this, we're going to score, and then we're going to punch. After that, we're going to turn it, and we're going to line this little mark that's coming off of the board with the last score mark we made, and we're going to punch and then score again, and then we're going to turn it, do the same thing, line up that little pointer, punch and score. But you only have to know that measurement of the 3 1/2 for the very first punch, and then punch and score. Okay, now you want to take this wider side, because you can see these are for the ends, and we want to round off the top of that, so we want to stick that into the rounder and just punch that. Okay, I'm going to throw this out of the side here for a minute. Okay, now we're just going to do some folding, and all of these going around. Okay, alright, now we're going to go back and just fold all these in and crease them. Alright, now in order to figure out the actual liner itself, what we want to do is we want to take a ruler, and we want to measure from the top of the envelope all the way down to the area where this flap is going to be in the top of this. Okay, so we want to measure from here down to there, and you can see that that is a 4 1/2. Okay, then we're going to take that 4 1/2 and subtract 1/4 inch. So we want our paper to be a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so now we have a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square piece. I want the pattern upright on my envelope, so this is the way I'm going to put it in there. Then now from the 4 1/4, when we go to punch, we're going to subtract 1/8 inch. So if the paper's 4 1/4, we want to punch at 4 1/8, and then we're going to take the top of this, excuse me, flip it down, because now we're going to go on the angle with it. Go back to 4 1/8, punch again. And then we want to keep these points so that the bump is on the top, and that's the other part that we're going to round off. So we have the round off, the round, and it's round. So we're going to round off this top corner, and there we have it. So now you have your liner. It's going to fit in there perfectly, like so, and then you'll be able to close up your envelope, and then you have it. Let's do another size. Since a lot of us make 3 by 3 cards, little teeny cards, let's do a 3 by 3. On our chart, it says that a 3 by 3, we're going to need a piece of paper that's 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I have my 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper, and now it's telling us that the very first punch is going to be a 2 5/8. Now, 2 5/8 on the board, it's the smaller mark right past the half mark. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to go to 2 5/8. That's going to be our only measured punch. Score and punch. Now we just turn and line it up with the scoreboard again, and punch and score. Line this little mark up again. Punch and score. And punch and score. And we want to round off our edge, the top of the paper. And on this one, because it's a square, it doesn't really matter. The ends and they're all going to be the same size, where when the other one we had 4 1/4 by 5, it was more of an oblong shape. So this is totally square, so it doesn't really matter which side you round off. Now we want to go back and we want to measure to see what size liner we want. So we're going to come back in, take our ruler, measure from the top to the middle, and I'm getting on my ruler a measurement of 2 5/8. Okay, which is the mark right past, 2 little marks past the half mark. Okay, so now we have the envelope that said 2 5/8 for our measurements. So now we want to subtract 1/4 inch off of that, which is going to bring us at the 2 3/8. So we want to cut our liner at 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. Okay, so now after we have our liner cut, then we want to subtract off of that 2 1/8 another 1/8 inch. So we want to subtract an 1/8 inch off of the 2 3/8 and gives us 2 1/4, and that's where we stick our 2 1/4 in the punch. And so we punch at 2 1/4, flip, and punch again at 2 1/4, and then we will round off the edge. So now if we fit this inside of the liner inside of our envelope, we have a perfect liner to fit inside our custom envelope. I hope that this video has been helpful for you, and that it was easy to understand. If you have time to do a like, push the like button, that'd be great, or time to leave a comment. I always listen to and answer all the comments that I get. I would really appreciate it. And until the next video, God bless.